through some of the key points that we've looked at. So it's important. I mean, I could show you a business today where you could make a lot of money, but if it isn't around long term, it isn't going to be worth putting in the effort into it. So it was something that was very important to us, and I'm sure it's the same for you as well. And then I'm going to be going through a bit about how the business works and how we make money from it, how the pro traders do the work on our behalf. So a bit of background on myself. I'm a company director. I've been a company director off and on for many years. My most recent project was I was a director of a company called Deval, which is a pharmaceutical company manufacturing, or in the process of developing, I should say, an anti-inflammatory and autoimmune serum called Ames Pro. I also invest in startup companies. I've done that for many years. And I prefer to do that rather than have things, for example, like pension, because I want to be able to keep control of where my money goes. And look at this, everyone's still jumping in. And I also raise funds for projects as well. We've been working on some pretty significant projects, from state-of-the-art pipelines through to satellites, everything from 20 to 200 million pounds being raised. Interestingly, with everything going on around the world, that is very quiet at the moment. Investors are very much keeping their hands in their pockets, waiting to see what's going to happen. Now, I was introduced to CashFX by a friend of mine, John Kinnear. John is someone I've known for a good few years, very experienced business person, very successful. He's made millions of dollars over the years in various projects. He's someone that is very analytical in his approach, which is something that I appreciate. He is also very much like me. Will not just jump into any old project. He's very cautious, does a lot of due diligence. So I knew when he approached me regarding CashFX that it would definitely be something worth looking at. And sure enough, I was very impressed with what I saw and joined the business around this time last year. Now, I've been involved in startup companies on many occasions, often as a corporate director, and it can be quite challenging simply because usually early on you're not very well funded, and therefore you have to build things on a shoestring, which is never ideal, and so there can be challenges from that. But with CashFX, it actually has been very different because the owners are very successful, very wealthy, and they're investing millions of dollars into the project in key locations, and working with the right partners as well. So it has been remarkably smooth sailing over the first 12 months since I've been involved with the company. So yeah, and we've done a lot of due diligence on the project as well. John in particular went over and spent 3 days with the owners, went through absolutely everything. I felt actually a bit sorry for the owners. John could be quite blunt in his approach and certainly very analytical. But anyway, they certainly impressed him. He came away extremely impressed with what he saw. And since then, we've been working closely with the company. John in particular has been helping them out with their marketing. And a few months ago was actually asked to become the marketing director of the company, which is both testament to John, that they felt that he was good enough to do that, but also a testament to the company because he agreed to take the role on. So let me go through some of the key elements of the business that we looked at specifically, so you can get a feel for what we're talking about here. You'll have to excuse me if I seem a bit distracted, just simply because I'm still letting people into the room as they jump in. So the market that the company is in is the foreign exchange market, or the Forex market. It is, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the market, it's basically the differences between currencies around the world. So you've got the British pound versus the Japanese yen, for example. You're going to get those fluctuations between the currencies. And if you know what you're doing, you can therefore trade those differences. The market is decentralized, which means that anyone can trade it, and there are in fact 80 to 90 million private or retail traders that are people like you and me that have learned how to trade from home and are making money from this market. And if you know what you're doing in this market, you can make a lot of it. A lot of people that don't know, are not making money in this market, but there are a lot of people that are. As I said, it's down to, a lot of it's down to knowledge and skill, and one or two other factors. Now, even though there are 80 to 90 million private or retail traders in the market, they only make up a small percentage of the market. which is dominated by the banks and institutions, and they are in this market because it's the most liquid and consolidated market in the world. They know that they can trade billions of dollars in this market and make billions of dollars without any issues, because it is in fact a $5.3 trillion a day average market. That is absolutely massive. You could put all the other markets together, the stock market, the commodities market, etc., and it would just take up a tiny fraction of this market. So as I said, that's why they like it, because they know that there is the liquidity in the market to enable them to trade large sums of money, and that was very important to them. It's also extremely important with regard to Cash FX, because Cash FX is growing really quickly. It's a company that is going to become very large as more and more people find out about it, and therefore it's important to note that there is the headroom in the market to enable the company to grow without any issues in the coming years. Another key element of the market is the fact that it's historically proven to be recession-proof, and so that was something that was very important to us when we first looked at it. Obviously, right now it is vitally important, and it's simply recession-proof because it doesn't matter what's going on around the world with the other markets. The fact is, you're still going to get those fluctuations with the price between the currencies, whatever's going on around the world, so you can continue to trade the market and make money. Right now, obviously, you're all painfully aware of what's happening around the world. There's been a couple of instances or things that have happened to my family just recently, which for me really highlights what we've got going on here. A few weeks ago, or a week ago, I can't remember what it was, my son was made redundant from his job. Now, I said to my wife at the time that that was, unusual, because they paid a lot of money to bring him on board. They paid a lot of money training him, and he was very good at what he did, and yet he still got made redundant. And I said to my wife at the time that, I could see there are also flexible risk management strategies that you can use. And the importance of that is it means that if the traders know what they're doing, they can dial up or dial down the risk depending on what's going on around the world, so they can protect the fund. Now, this is also a good way to spot the difference between a company that's doing right and a company that's doing it wrong. I see a lot of companies in this space that are giving high returns, and unfortunately, people tend to only watch the high returns. They don't look at the other side of the coin, and the other side of the coin are the risk management strategies. And there are a lot of companies out there giving high returns, but their risk management strategies are terrible. You're looking at a drawdown of anywhere 50 to 60%. If you see that kind of thing going on, basically, yes, they might be making high returns, but effectively they're gambling with your money, and it is just a matter of time before they actually blow your account. So the trick is finding a trading company that is actually trading properly, keeping the risk low and still getting high returns, and that's exactly what you've got here with Cash FX. They've got a drawdown as low as 3%, which is exceptionally low, combined with still getting those high returns. And I said that's the skill if you can do that. Now, the way the business operates, in some ways, it's similar to the way the banks trade the forex market, in so much that when you deposit your money with the bank, that money is then pooled with all the other money that is then traded on various markets, in particular the forex market, because of the reasons I've already explained. And so what they're doing is they're leveraging your money to maximize their gains, i.e. making money with your money. Very good, very clever business model. They'll see the banks make billions of dollars out of that. And so, it's a model they've used for a long time, and it works very well. The key difference between Cash FX and the bank's model is the same way. The money's pooled, it's traded Monday through Friday, 24 hours a day, because that's when the market is open. The key difference, though, is you receive your trading returns every Saturday, which is money that you can withdraw. Now, key thing, it's really important to stress that what we're talking about here is a business model where the pro traders do the work for you. Doesn't matter your background experience, you don't have to know anything about the forex market or do any trading yourself. The pro traders are doing the work for you, and you're receiving those returns every Saturday. That's money that you can withdraw. So that's the basic business model, and it's something I'll come back and obviously talk a little bit more about in a minute. So now, one of the key aspects, again, which impressed us when we first started looking at Cash FX, is the fact that there are highly reputable third-party companies also recommending the company. And one of those companies is a company called EverFX. They are the broker for the company, and they hold a very, very important role. Again, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the Forex market, you have to go through a broker to trade the Forex market. You can't do it directly. They are not the traders. They do not do the trading. Basically, well, in the case of EverFX with CashFX, CashFX deposits the fund with EverFX. They hold the fund. CashFX are the trader, so therefore they make the trades. They do that electronically. The trades are then electronically instigated by EverFX. Money in, money out, wins, losses, etc. So EverFX are in a unique position to see exactly how CashFX are performing. They can see, how much money they're trading. They can see exactly how they're trading, and they can see the results they're getting at the end of the day. So the fact that they are actually recommending the company is important because, as I said, they can see exactly what CashFX are doing, and they feel the company is good enough to recommend. Now, just a bit of background on EverFX. They are a serious company. They are, well, in fact, let me just talk a little bit about brokers, actually. I think it's important to talk about that as well. There are brokers and there are brokers, and there are brokers out there that are, unknown entities that are attached to the trading company, for example. You don't want to go there. That's a significant red flag. There are companies out there that are non-regulated, and there are some world-class companies in that field. They choose to go down that route because if you know anything about regulation, it is highly restrictive. So they're basically they've decided to go into that niche where they're offering products that might have slightly higher risk, for example. Now, you may say, well, is that a good thing? Yes, it is. If you know what you're doing, you can trade a higher risk product and actually end up making more money. And then there are regulated brokers like EverFX. And for me, the regulated brokers are the best because basically your money is protected if it's in a regulated broker. And EverFX is a company that is European based. It's internationally recognized. It's multi-award winning and it's multi-regulated. So as I said, it's a very serious company. They're regulated by CISEC, which is one of the main regulatory bodies for Europe. They're also regulated by the Cayman authorities and Seychelles authorities, and they're going through the process of being regulated by the FCA here in the UK and also the South African authorities as well. Now, the reason they go down this route, it opens up different markets for them around the world, but also their pitch is very simple. We are a multi-regulated company, so your money is very, very safe with us. And that's, obviously a strong pitch. So it's very good to see CashFX is using a regulated broker. And this, as I said, this is a serious company. They're multi-award winning. They've been voted best fastest growing CFD broker, best new multi-asset broker, best online CFD broker. These are prestigious awards. They're also the global partner of Sevilla Football Club. For those of you that aren't into your football club, Sevilla are one of the top clubs in Europe. They're number 3 in the Spanish league, I think behind Barcelona and Real Madrid at the moment. So you've got to be a serious company to be able to can afford to be able to support a football club at that level. As you can see, there's the logo on the shorts next to the Nike logo. So they're a very serious company indeed, multi-regulated. So the importance of this, and the reason I'm labouring this point, is the fact that you've got a very successful, very regulated third-party company that can see firsthand what CashFX are doing, and they are strongly recommending the company. So it really doesn't get better than that. As I said, they're on the inside, so they can see exactly what CashFX is doing, and they must have tremendous faith in the business, because you've got to understand that by recommending CashFX, if CashFX messes up in the future, then that will come back directly to potentially cause real damage to this company. So it's really important that you understand that for them to be recommending CashFX, it means that everything that CashFX is doing is exactly as they say they're doing, and the business model and everything else is powered from that. So it's a really important feature. A couple of other things that are important to look at. Who are the owners behind the company? It's important to have a good captain of the ship. And Huáscar Lopez is a very good captain. He is a very successful businessman. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He has huge property holdings, huge land holdings at key locations, manufacturing facilities with government contracts. He's also a very successful Bitcoin trader. He has a vast Bitcoin holding. He sold some of his holdings back in 2017 for $90 million. So he really knows what he's doing in that particular marketplace. And CashFX really is his baby. He wants this to be a legacy company. That's why he set it up the way he set it up. We've been working closely with Huáscar. He's based in the USA, in Florida. And we, as professional businessmen ourselves, we've seen very firsthand how, you know, he's really doing everything right with regard to the business. He's also investing millions of dollars of his own money into the project. And again, that's something which is really important for us. It's all very well talking a good talk, but if you're actually investing your own money, that's a very different story. And he's investing in everything from the new payment processor, the new headquarters, the academy program, the legal teams, and the partners that they're working with. So yeah, we've been very impressed with Huáscar across the board. Edwin Abad is one of the other owners. I should have actually mentioned this actually. There are videos that you can watch of EverFX talking about CashFX. One that I do recommend is an 8-minute video. If you ask the person to introduce you to get hold of a copy for you. It's an 8-minute video of the COO from EverFX standing up on stage, talking about his background, obviously a very experienced guy, talking about you know, why they're being multi-regulated. He also goes on to talk about CashFX, and as you'll see, he strongly recommends CashFX. He talks about what they're doing is generally special. They see thousands of traders, of course, and you know, he talks about what they're doing is making magic in the market, the way they make the market come to them. And he also talks about this gentleman here, Edwin Abad, world-class trader, trades without emotion, etc. So high praise indeed from a broker that can see thousands of traders. So Edwin is a serious trader. He's also a very experienced engineer. He ran a very successful engineering company in the US, and he's using that engineering prowess combined with his trading prowess to develop a lot of the tools and systems they use for the trading. Now, just some stats on the company, 26,000 members. Well, these are actually, well, no, it's a couple of months old now, so they're probably significantly out of date. CashFX is growing very fast indeed. I understand that probably the numbers now are closer to around 40,000 members, 180 countries. Again, I'm sure it's more than that as well. And there are 100,000 successful payouts. Again, I'm sure a lot more since then. Now, just a little bit on the payouts. I've been with the company now for 12 months. I've made, I don't know, maybe 30 withdrawals from the company. Some of those withdrawals, very significant sums of money without the slightest problem. Same thing from my business partners. Same thing for every member in CashFX. Now the company, so it's working perfectly. So the company currently is using a third-party payment processor, which is a very reputable company and clearly doing a good job. However, that's not good enough for the company. They're actually bringing the payment processor in-house at significant expense because they want to ensure there's no third party that could potentially spoil the party. So here, you know, the company has no control over the third party, so you know they could do anything they want to, and CashFX would have no control over that. So they want to bring it in-house to make sure that they maintain that complete control. Same thing with the technology they use for the trading. It's all in-house, which is really important. I'll explain why in a minute. Here are some of the team behind the company. John Kinnear is the person that introduced me to the business. As I said, he's become the marketing director, which is great because he's working directly with the company on a daily basis. And as a professional business person himself, he's been very impressed with everything he's seen. Now, these guys are extremely important. We wouldn't have a business without these guys. Edwin works very closely with them. They're all world-class traders. John Wilson here is the lead trader on the project, and John Lowestock has a very important role as the lead engineer on the project. So as you can see, as traders, engineers, this is what makes CashFX special. These guys are the guys that are constantly looking at the market and making judgment calls. But John Lowestock works closely with Edwin to develop the technology they use that does most of the trading, and that's called Expert Advisor. It's basically an algorithm system that does a lot of the trading, or most of the trading. And they're also using AI technology. Well, not using yet, they're developing it for future reference. The reason they use a system like this is, well, various. First and foremost, the market is traded 24 hours a day. Human beings obviously need sleep. Machine doesn't. The machine never has a bad day. A machine will always trade consistently with that. It doesn't matter if it's trading $5 or $5 billion. It trades without emotion, which is really important in this marketplace. And also a machine can make many, many more trades than a human can. And the importance of that is that because it can make more trades, it can increase the volume of returns and the percentages that we can make on a daily basis. And so, for example, it'll do things like scalping, where it'll do thousands of very fast trades, in, out, just taking a little profit each time, and hence the name scalping, which is a very effective way of keeping returns high and also managing to keep the risk low as well. So this system works superbly well, and it's been interesting to note that recently when the virus hit, John Wilson took the opportunity to switch the EA system off because they wanted to upgrade it anyway, but also because there was potential predictability in the market. So the guys are currently manually trading, and they're doing a superb job. We're seeing returns of anywhere from 5 to 7% a week. 5 to 7% a week, guys. That is a very serious return. But we're excited about the EA being switched back on again, because remember, it can increase the volume of trades. And that's something that is hopefully going to be happening very soon. The machine has now been upgraded. It's currently being live tested. And when it is switched on, we can see returns anywhere from 10 to even 15%. By the way, we're capped at a maximum of 15% on a weekly basis. But that's incredible. Well, since I've been with the company, I've personally seen returns anywhere from 5 to 13%, which is really special. So the fact that it's the combination, that's what makes this special. It's the combination of the fact they're using a machine. A machine will only be a fixed entity. It's programmed and then it will trade. But the fact you've got world-class traders that are also, watching the system, making sure it's optimized all the time, that's really important, not only to get the high returns, but also to make sure you've got that sustainability long-term. I see companies with just bots bought off the shelf. Those companies tend not to be around very long because the market's changed. Unless you're adapting the machine, it's going to get into trouble. And you've got manual traders, which are okay, and they can be very good, but at the same time, they can't necessarily do the volume of trades that a machine can. So by doing what the guys are doing, it's that combination that makes it special and giving the sort of returns they're getting. And everything that these guys are doing, that's where the money comes from the business model, top to bottom. A couple of final points on the due diligence, again, are the people behind the company. Again, it's a good indicator of the seriousness of the company, the way they're committing to the project. And the technology consultant that CashFX are using are the company called the Conversion Pros. They're a US-based company. They're internationally recognized, considered to be one of the best of what they do. They work with Fortune 500 companies and many big companies around the world. They're in 60 countries, you can see there. If you see a company with these guys behind them, you know that there's a company spending money, because the best is never the cheap option. And again, as I've already mentioned earlier on, as a startup company, it has been absolutely excellent, because testament to these guys and what they're doing a superb job. So it's the old adage, if you want the best, then you have to pay for it. But the point being is that to see CashFX with a company like this behind them is important, because again, it shows commitment. It shows the fact the company is investing in a serious project long term. Now, normally you wouldn't even know that these guys were there. You might see just a little logo at the bottom saying powered by the Conversion Pros. But as you can see here, we've got a full page spread. The reason simply is because Ron Pope, who's the co-founder, president, CEO of the company, very experienced, very reputable businessman. He's got a superb reputation. He has been with the company, obviously, right from the beginning. So they work with companies all around the world. He's never had the inkling to join any of those companies. But with CashFX, he's loved what he saw, and he decided to join the business, and he's actually out there recommending it to other people. Think about that. He's seen all these companies, no interest, but he's so impressed with CashFX. Remember, they can see everything. They are the technology consultants, so the backbone of the company, if you like. For him to be, coming on board and strongly recommending the company is a huge tick box. It was one of the first tick boxes that we looked at, and we thought, okay, that's really serious to have someone like Ron Pope, on the team. And finally, by no means least, is the headquarters. Again, I see most companies online don't even have a headquarters. If they do, 99 times out of 100, it's just a leased office. There's nothing wrong with a leased office, because a lot of companies, as I said, don't have a lot of money to start off with. But it always makes me smile when companies are promoting that they've got a headquarters and when it's a leased office, because really it's a toe in the water. That toe can be very quickly withdrawn. So in a perfect world, you're looking for a bricks and mortar operation, and that's exactly what you've got with CashFX. So CashFX have purchased outright the whole of the 9th floor, which is a 10,000 square foot office, so a very serious office of the RBS Tower, and that is the Royal Bank of Scotland Tower, which is one of the most prestigious buildings in Panama City, in the business district there. And again, the reason that CashFX are in Panama, it's a banking hub. A lot of top companies cite their headquarters there, hence why RBS is there, no doubt. And they also, there are excellent tax incentives. And CashFX also has a unique relationship with the Panamanian government, which makes the citing the office there a no-brainer for them. So they spent $1.2 million on purchasing the office and another $1 million on refurbishing it through Carolina here, check the head off a bit there, who is the architect on the project. So $2.2 million headquarters. Now, it's unfortunate the offices should actually be open now, but thanks to the virus, they haven't been able to. Waska was showing us a video the other day of all the furniture just sitting in a warehouse ready to be installed. But when the offices are open, they're going to be state-of-the-art. They're going to have the most advanced trading floor in the whole of the Southern Hemisphere, which is quite a statement. But again, typical of the way they're setting this company up, they really are investing heavily in the project, and they want it to be the very best it can be. The offices are also going to have an open door policy where you'll be able to visit the office and walk around, be shown the operation, and also use the boardroom, etc. So again, a $2.2 million headquarters, guys, is not a toe in the water. That is a very serious commitment. It's a commitment from a company expecting to be around long term. And if you look at the due diligence from CashFX top to bottom, it really, really stacks up. This company is really doing everything right. They're investing heavily in the project. You've got world-class partners, including regulated companies going out of their way to recommend CashFX. As I said again, you must understand that there's no way a regulated company would recommend a company if they weren't doing what they say they were doing. That would be business suicide. So this, again, is a very strong foundation for what I'm going to show you now. I can show you a business where you can make $1 million a day, but if the money coming into it isn't real, if the project isn't sustainable, if the due diligence doesn't stack up, then it would be a waste of time. But with CashFX, that definitely isn't the case. So let me just move this out of the way over here. So one of the key things also about CashFX is the way they've done it. They've opened it up to pretty well everyone. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. He's a window cleaner, set up. He's got a successful business, and he was telling me how much it cost to set up his window cleaning business. It cost him $3,000 for the equipment, another $8,000 pounds, another £8,000 for the van, and it took him 5 years of hard graft to build up a good income from that, from doing that. CashFX, you can start off with as little as $300. It is a one-time purchase. There are no upfront fees, no monthly fees or auto ship or anything like that. It is simply a one-time purchase. So when it comes to starting off a business, there are very few businesses in the world you can start off for as little as $300. And you can buy a pack, or trade pack as it's called, for as little as $300 right the way through to a 100K pack, which is the top pack in the business. We have people joining CashFX from all walks of life, people with experience, successful business people, lawyers, accountants, professional backgrounds. We have people joining that have no experience in business at all, different age groups from grandmothers through to young people. And so the business is open to absolutely everyone. And we have people joining from all the pack sizes from 300 to 100K. Obviously, people that are coming in the 50, 70, 100K packs, they're doing a due diligence on the project and agreeing with my assessment here that this is a fantastic opportunity and therefore coming in at that level. Now, I'll take this opportunity to just say one thing, particularly for those of you that are not experienced with business, if you've never been in the business before, it's really important that you put a sensible hat on if you go into any project. It doesn't matter how excited you are about the project, always be sensible. never, bet the farm, never remortgage your house, never borrow money or anything stupid like that. Come in at a level that you can afford, because at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a guaranteed business. I've just shown you a business that stacks up due diligence-wise absolutely superbly. You've got trading results that are world-class, proven over a long period of time, and also before the company was launched. You've got a third-party regulated company recommending the company, so they agree that what CashFX is doing is very special, and past results are a good indicator of future. And of course, again, they're also keeping the risk very low with a drawdown of 3%. But again, no guarantees, and of course, trading by its very nature, there is always a risk associated with that. So as I said, really important that if you decide to join CashFX, come into the level that you feel comfortable with, and I think that's a good word to use, because if you do that, then you're going to really enjoy the experience. Whether it's $300 or 100K, just make sure that it's right for you. So let's explain how this works. So when you buy a contract, doesn't matter if it's a 100K pack or a $300 pack, same rules apply. 30% of the price of the pack goes towards the Academy program. The other 70% that goes towards the trade pool. That's the bit that is pooled and traded 5 days a week, and every 24 hours a day, and every Saturday we see those trading returns in our available account. That's money that we can withdraw. So let's explain now, and by the way, again, just must reiterate this, that's without you knowing anything about trading or doing any trading yourself. That is done for you. The pro traders are doing the work on your behalf. Now, the Academy Pack, just to explain what that is, this is something that's under development at the moment. It's I've been told that it's going to be launched. There's a big event in November. The company had its official launch in November of last year, so they're having another event this November, and this is one of the products or things that they're going to be launching at the event, which is the Academy program. Now, the company is actually listed as a training company, not a trading company. So this is very important. When Waskar set up the company, he wanted a business that not only made money for people, but also enabled people to learn how to make money in the Forex market. Now, this is optional. You may decide that this is not something you want to do, but I believe a lot of people will be very interested in this. A lot of people are at a crossroads in their life. They might have lost their job, their business, lost their business, or they may decide they don't want to go back to their job business. They decide they actually like being at home and would love to have a business that they could work from home. So Forex trading, as we know, there are 80 to 90 million private retail traders around the world taking advantage of this. So it's a very valuable skill to be able to learn that. And this Academy program is going to be world-class. Once it's launched, it is actually going to be government accredited. I think it's the first any company of this type to have a government accredited product, and you'll be able to learn from the very basics of Forex trading right the way through the Supreme Series, which includes advanced trading techniques and also the psychology of professional trading. So this is going to be, as I said, a world-class product, and it's training you a skill that you can trade completely independently of CashFX and make money, from now on. Whenever you want to, you can come into the market and start making money. And if you know what you're doing in this market, as I've already said, you can make a very serious amount of money. So this is going to be an amazing product when we get it. The company, by the way, is spending an absolute fortune on it, so it's going to be very special. So the trade pool deposit, this is the other side, as I said, that's trading Monday through Friday. We see the trading returns every Saturday. And once those trading returns get to 2 times the price of the pack that you purchased at, so in the case of $300 a pack, that would be $600. In the case of a 100K pack, that would be $200,000. Once that gets to that point, the pack then completes. What you do from there is completely up to you. Because remember, the money's in your bank account. You've been withdrawing it. You can take your money and run. You can come back and buy another pack and just repeat the process, or you can take the opportunity to upgrade. Now, obviously, if you're on a 100K pack, you can't advance from there because that's the top pack. What you would do is you just buy another 100K pack and repeat the process, because you're making very serious returns at that level. But even if you're on a smaller pack, you can use your profits to then upgrade. And the way the company does this is clever. So, for example, if you're on a $300 pack, and you want to upgrade to the $500 pack, what you do is instead of paying the full amount, you upgrade before the pack completes. You have to do it before the pack completes, and you can take some of your profits and then pay the difference between the 300 and the 500, which in that case is $200. So you're not paying $500 to upgrade, you're just paying $200. And the way the company does it like that is because it enables members to start off small and build up to the bigger packs without putting any more of your own money into the project. So that's a really important thing. You will not be reaching into your pocket to put any more. What you're doing is you're earning money from the market. The pros, traders are doing the work for you, you're earning that money, and then you're using some of that money to then upgrade to the next level and just keep upgrading. And of course, the reason you want to do that is because, you're making, you've got a 210 trade pool deposit. When you start at $300, if you're on a $500, it's 350. You get to the 1K pack, $700, and so on and so forth. So because you're trading more money, you're going to be making more money. Now, when I joined CashFX, I could have come in with a much higher pack, but I'm an experienced builder in the industry, so I wanted to see how quickly I could go from a $300 pack up to a 100K pack without putting any more of my own money into the project. And I managed to do that in just 8 months. Now, I'm sure there'll be people that will do it quicker than me, but most people will take longer. Because remember, I'm an experienced business person, so I'm not the norm, but even passive members will get to the 100K pack in time if they want to. And it's interesting to see, since I've been in the business, I'm seeing lots of other members that started off with small packs, $300, and now getting up to the 100K pack themselves, which is fantastic to see, because when I first started, my account was trading $210. Now that I've worked my way up, just upgrade all through the levels to the 100K pack, my account is now trading $70,000. So you can imagine, with returns of 5 to 13% a week, these are very, very serious returns. Now, one of the questions that people often ask me is, how long does a pack take to complete? And this was something which was very important to us, and we looked at it very carefully, because if we'd seen anything like fixed percentage returns, fixed time frames, compounding, any of those things, we wouldn't have joined CashFX, because those, unfortunately, are what I call money game operations, because it looks great on paper, and a lot of people join those businesses because of that, because you start off small and you're a millionaire by Wednesday, but unfortunately it's always going to be on paper. You're never actually going to make that money, because those companies aren't around very long. Why? When you can just simply work out the maths. If they're giving a fixed percentage return in a market where the traders are going to perform better and less well on a weekly basis, then how can they pay out a fixed percent? That's not sustainable. Same thing with compounding. It's just ridiculous. If you think about it, you start off with a certain amount of money, it's double. You're talking about earning $1 billion by Wednesday. So that is not a sustainable model. The way CashFX works is the pack will complete when they complete. So if the traders are doing well, the pack speeds up. If the traders are doing less well, the pack slows down. That is so important, because that is totally sustainable. CashFX is never paying out more money than the money that's coming in from the trading. Now, of course, as far as timeframes go, if you're earning between 5 and 13%, then your pack is moving very quickly. Where else are you going to get returns like that? And that's where the skill of the traders come in. But the fact is, it's an organic thing. The pack will complete once it completes. So if the traders are doing well, it'll speed up. If they're doing less well, it'll slow down. But the fact is, it will still complete, in time. So this is a remarkable product. It's a product that is open to absolutely everyone. As I said, you don't need to know the first thing about the Forex market or do any trading yourself. You're letting world-class pros doing the work for you, getting remarkable returns. Remember, those kinds of returns in a market right now where most people are losing money. So this is a fantastic product. You've also got the option, if you want to, it's optional, to learn how to become a trader yourself. So in addition to the money you'll make it from the pro traders, you can learn an incredible skill. So this is a very important product in this marketplace right now. Just remember, no upfront fees or monthly fees. It is a one-time purchase. We have extremely high retention in the business. Why? Because why would someone leave if they're making money? That's such a key element to this. And as there's no monthly fees, the business is making the money rather than costing them money. Now, this may be your only interest in Cash FX, and if so, as I've shown you there, you can make a lot of money over time with Cash FX. As I said, we have people coming at the 100K pack. If they want to make that money immediately, but most people are going to build up to that over time. It's designed so you can start off very small. $300 is next to nothing when you compare it to for a window cleaner, for example, and you can build up to very serious incomes just using your profits along the way. Now, as I said, this may be your only interest, but I will say there is a referral program attached to Cash FX. Just like the referral programs you have with Amazon and Virgin and companies like that, no different. You may say, well, I don't want to refer people. And if that's the case, then fantastic. What I would say, and this is something I see a lot, once you're in Cash FX for a while, see how it's working, see that you're making money. It is very, I think, difficult to not actually tell other people about it. It's like anything. If you like a good phone or something like that, so I like my iPhone, I might tell friends of mine, this is that's a good product, you should have a look at it. It's the same thing here. And if you do refer people to Cash FX, you can make a lot of money. So what is a referral, by the way? It's just simply inviting someone to an overview like this. As you can see, no hype, no rah-rah. It's just an overview so they can make an informed decision one way or another. Either way is fine. If I refer someone to my mobile phone and they decide to go Android, no skin off my nose. It's completely up to them. And that is the business model, by the way. So it's a very simple business model, just simply referring people to this product, showing people the way of making money. And it's something that you probably do even if you weren't getting paid for it. But I'm going to show you the fact that you can actually make a very serious amount of money from doing just that very simple thing. Now, if you're still not interested, then by all means, finish the call there. Thanks for coming on the call. Hope you found that of interest. If you'd like to become just a passive member, get back to the person that introduced you. And just remember, if you decide to join, start off at a sensible level. So thanks for tuning in. But if you've got any curiosity at all on how you can make money from the business side of Cash FX, the referral side, then just stay on the call and I'll explain it to you. So basically, when you buy a pack, in this case, the example is 1K, so that might be something you've upgraded to or purchased outright. The 70% goes towards the trading account, as I've already explained. That is then traded Monday through Friday, and the pack will complete once it gets to 2 times the purchase price, not 2 times the 700. So you're going to receive $2,000 back. That's your money. It's in your account. It's up to you what you do with it from there. The 30% that goes for the Academy pack, 100% of that money is then paid out to people that are referring other people in the business. Now, for those of you that are eagle-eyed, will have spotted, well, where's Cash FX making their money if they're paying out 100%? It's Cash FX makes their money because obviously we're trading and they might give us a percentage return on a weekly basis. They're also taking a little percentage off the top. So again, I really like that because they are putting their money where their mouth is and relying on their ability as traders to give them those returns. It's also another reason why they need us. I often get asked this question, well, if they're so good at trading, how come they need us? Well, they don't need us at the end of the day. However, it's good business practice because obviously, we come in, we want to make money, so our account's being traded, but they're taking that percentage off. So they're building up a very big fund where that small percentage is adding up to a lot of money. So it's a very, very good business model for them as well. It's a symbiotic relationship where they're making a lot of money, as are we. And another thing to note, by the way, is you'll note that we don't receive any commissions from the trading account. That's important because if we did, we'd need a license to be selling this. This is just a referral, just like anything. I recommend this, and if they use it, it's up to them. So we don't get paid on that bit, but we do get paid on the Academy program. And as you can see here, 50% goes to what's called the fast start, which goes to the enroller. The other 50% goes to what's called a unilevel. I'll explain that in a second. So let me just scroll down here. Sorry. Now, one thing I would say about the referral side, or the business side, if you like, is that it's important to have a realistic mindset when you come into the project, because sometimes people come into a project like this and they think they're going to make a load of money without actually doing anything. No, it doesn't actually work like that. This is a real business. It's a very clever business. It's open to absolutely everyone. Because again, what is just a referral? It's very easy for people to do that. But the fact is you do actually have to make the referral. So you do actually have to put in effort. If you look at the top income earners in Cash FX, very different backgrounds. I've got grandmothers, I've got business professionals, people with no experience at all, making very serious money with cash effects. But the one thing they have in common is they're all working hard on the project. They understand the potential. They can see how it's going to make them a lot of money, so they're prepared to put in the effort. So just as I said, just set the expectation. If you want to make a lot of money with cash effects, then it does take work. So let's explain how the fast start works. Well, I'll use myself as the example. I purchased a $300 pack. So John invited me to look at an overview like this. I saw it. I liked what I saw. Asked him a few questions, and then I joined with $300. That 30% was taken. 50% of that went to the unit level. The other 50% was paid to John as the person that introduced me, and so he received $45. Not a lot of money. Now, often in most plans, that would be where that would stop there. It would go no further than that. And yet, John has been paid again and again and again since I started with Cash FX. Now, remember, there's no upfront fees or monthly fees, so how come that happened? It's very simple. It's because I'm making money from the business. This is the great thing about Cash FX. If you refer someone to Cash FX, they are going to make money. This is why we have such a high retention rate, because why would you leave if you are making money? So John referred me. I purchased a $300 pack. My account was starting to be traded, so I was receiving trading returns. That then gave me enough money to upgrade to the next pack up. And when I did that, John received another fast start. When I upgraded to the pack after that, he again received another fast start, all the way up to the 100K pack. When I upgraded to the 100K pack, John then received $7,500. So just think about that. Rewind just 8 months. He introduced me via an overview like this for $300. He's now getting paid $7,500 8 months later. And that's what's special about Cash FX. Now, I have sped up the process, so it's going to take most people longer than that. But the fact is, even passive members, they will get up to the 100K pack in time. And once someone is on a 100K pack, basically that pack completes 2 times, like all the packs do. So you buy a 100K pack, it completes 200K. You take your 100K profit, you take the other 100K, and you buy another pack. Why? Well, it's because you want to continue making money. So you just repeat the process. And when you do that, the person that introduced you, and John is in my role in this case, he receives $15,000 every time I do that, again and again and again. So that 50% adds up to $15,000 every time I repurchase my 100K pack. So think about that. How many people would you like to introduce to Cash FX? Just one. If they upgrade to the 100K pack, you're going to get paid $15,000 again and again. Someone, by the way, might come in at 100K, because remember, people do join at that level all the time. Or you could go out there and introduce 10 people. Now, just think about this. How many businesses do you know that you can start for $300? Compare that to the window cleaner I was telling you about, that has no overheads, no employees, etc., no additional costs, that can earn you $150,000 from 10 customers again and again and again. I can't think of any, and that's what's special about Cash FX, because you didn't have to bring people in at 100K, just refer them, and if they join, they can join for $300, but guess what? They're going to be making money, and they're going to be able to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade, and you're going to receive those fast starts again and again, and once they're on the 100K pack, you're going to be receiving $15,000 again and again. To give you a great example, I've got a lady on my team, Hazel. She's a 68-year-old grandmother, never done anything like this before. She joined the business, just started putting posts up on Facebook and that kind of thing. She's now introduced 45 people. So you do the maths on that, what she's going to be earning when those people get up to the 100K pack, and they're on their way. I've seen her account. She's got people with 20, 30K packs in her business already. So this fast start alone is world class. If you decide you want to refer people to Cash FX, you can make very serious money just from this one bonus alone. But as I'm going to show you, Cash FX pays us in additional ways that are no less lucrative, in fact, more so. So remember, 30%, so the 50% goes to the fast start, the other 50% goes to the unit level, and that's a technical term for something that really isn't technical. This is a referral business. So not only do we get paid on the people that we refer personally, but if they then decide they want to refer others, we can also pick up commissions from that as well. So when I joined Cash FX, John introduced me, so I came into level 1 of John's business. So he received his fast start, but he also got this 10% unilevel bonus, which wasn't much initially. It was only $4.50. But now that I'm on a 100K pack, John now receives not only in addition to the $15,000, but $1,500 again and again and again. So people joining your business, so for example, they might join you. So you introduce them there to your level 1. If they introduce Fred, Sue, Steve, you are going to receive these 10% commissions, not only the first time they buy the pack, but every time they upgrade, etc., etc. Once they get up to the 100K pack, that can be as much as $1,500 again and again and again. Work the business seriously, get to executive, which is the first position in the leadership ranks. Again, not easy. You have to put in the effort to get there, but I've got over 211 people in my organization at that level. So it's very achievable for people. It's one of the first goals people have if they're taking the business seriously, get to executive, because you then pick up 20% on levels 5 and 6, and that can be as much as $3,000 again and again when someone is on a 100K pack. So you can make very serious money in addition to the fast start. As people start referring other people, this will build up over time, even if people are coming in with just the $300 pack. Hazel, for example, has got a team of 400 people that she's picking up these bonuses on, 10s and 20%. She's an executive. She's now working towards going manager, and you pick up additional levels, which pays you even more money. So as I said, this is a world-class training referral program that pays you multiple times for one-time effort. Now, one thing I would say, that I'm going to stop there, because I'm sure, particularly if this is the first time you've seen this, a lot of information I appreciate. There are other ways that we get paid from the business. It is a remarkable plan, and there is a way called the matrix. If you want to find out about the force matrix, get back to the person that introduced you and ask them just to sort of go through it with you. But in a nutshell, just a sort of a very brief overview, even if you are a passive member, you can be positioned in a team. And if it's an active team, so the person above you is introducing people, that it fills up left to right. So as people come in, they join here, and then people can actually be placed in underneath you. And I have lots of people in my team that are passive members that are picking up very serious team building bonuses, or matrix commissions as they're called, and they haven't actually introduced anyone themselves. So this is a very powerful part of the plan. So that concludes the presentation. I hope you found it helpful, not too complicated, because I appreciate it's a lot of information there. What I will just say as a recap, this is a business you can start for as little as $300. It's a one-time payment. You're tapping into a $5.3 trillion a day market, and a market that is recession-proof, which is extremely important at the moment. It's a business where you could be making money immediately from the pro traders doing the work on your behalf, and you can pick up those commissions every Saturday. It's a business where you can learn also how to be a Forex trader if you want to. That's an optional part, but I think a lot of members are going to be taking that up. And if you decide you want to refer people, remember this is optional, but if you refer people to CashFX, then you, as I've just shown you, you can make very serious money. I've been in the industry 20 years. I've never seen a referral program like that. It is easily the best I've ever seen. And it means that people can even just start off small and build up to something big over time. And finally, you've also got the due diligence on this project. I would not be sitting here if the due diligence didn't stack up. I certainly wouldn't, it wouldn't matter how much the payout is. It's got to stack up for me to be involved in this business. And I'm sure you're the same. You want a company that's set up properly, run properly, and that's what you've got here with CashFX. You've got a company that is being strongly recommended by third-party companies, reputable companies, even regulated companies. It doesn't get better than that. A company with a $2.2 million headquarters, a company that is clearly expecting to be around long term. So as an overall package, I cannot imagine a better business model. And, once you get to see the business and how it's working and see the potential, you'll understand that this is probably, it is the best business I've ever seen across the board. So I'm sure you've got a million questions. Get back to the person that introduced you. Get your questions answered. And if you decide to join CashFX, then congratulations and welcome to the team. And just remember, just start off at a level that you feel comfortable with. If you do that, then you're going to really enjoy the experience. So thanks very much for listening in, and have a good evening or day. Take care.